My name is Ryan Waters, and I am out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, about 700 miles offshore on a 43-foot sailboat.
Several years ago, I took a sailing trip from San Diego to Maui. We sailed across the largest stretch of Pacific Ocean in the world. Just me and 3 complete strangers.
Everything's working well, we're cruising downwind.
We sailed morning, noon, and night for 23 days.
I freeze my ass off. We just put the mainsail down. We reached the 1,000-mile mark today.
It was one of the greatest adventures of my whole life. And the best part?
Okay, I don't know how to tie this.
I had no experience. In fact, the first sailing trip I ever went on was this one, sailing from San Diego across the entire Pacific Ocean to Hawaii. Since I'd never been sailing before, I had to learn it on the job.
Throw that sail on the other side of the mast. Pull it over on the starboard side of the boat.
So I learned how to sail. But I also learned all sorts of other stuff too, like how to read a chart.
I'm going to take our coordinates. We're at 26 degrees and 35 minutes north. And wow, we didn't make it very far yesterday.
I mean, there was so much to learn on board besides just sailing, like splicing.
The favorite pastime of any real sailor.
Fishing.
Now that's a fish, boys! Woo-wee!
Cleaning fish.
Almost no meat left. That side needs a little work, but this side, that's all ribs.
Cooking on a boat was a whole nother world.
As the boat turns, the stove is on a swivel to keep it level at all times, so you don't spill stuff while you're cooking.
There's so much stuff that I didn't know about sailing that I learned on this trip. Did you know that you throw all of your trash overboard? That's standard practice, except for plastic and styrofoam, but everything else,
right overboard. Bye.
Even going to the bathroom on the boat was worth talking about.
I'm going to show you what I think is pretty interesting about a toilet on a boat. There's a pump here called a macerator pump. When we push that, it actually has a blender in the bottom of the toilet, and it blends everything that goes in the toilet and then shoves it out to sea. There's what we have. Push the button, and voila. Just like that. And that's that.
Gross. So there are a couple reasons why I love talking about this adventure. Number 1, so people talk to me all the time about how expensive traveling is and how they wish they had more money so they could travel too. And this trip was like free. I had to get to the boat, I had to get back from Hawaii. So it was like 200 bucks. So not free, but cheap. And cheap is good.
Yeah, you like cheap.
Second reason, anybody can do it. All I did was I went on a website called Latitude 38. I built a listing under crew lists. I had to answer a couple questions like, what's your sailing experience? Which I put 0. What's your mechanical experience? And how much money would you be willing to put towards a trip? That's not what happened. And I got a call within a week from 3 guys that needed help delivering a boat from San Diego to Maui. They didn't need someone that had all this experience. They literally just needed an extra hand. And that was me. Which brings me to my third reason why this experience is so important for me to share with people. This was for sure one of the most profound experiences I've ever had in my whole life. And what blows my mind is I originally said no. I had a job that I hated. It was the only office job I've ever had. And I worked in this little tiny cubicle, and I started for the first time having panic attacks. It was such a horrible feeling. I felt like I was stuck in my own skin and I couldn't get out. It was awful. My creativity went to nothing. My sex drive went to nothing. Gross. Again. Sorry. And I got this call from these guys saying, hey, we're sailing a boat to Maui today. Can you come? And I said, oh God, I'm in a suit. I'm at a desk. Like, sorry, I can't do that. So I thanked him and I hung up the phone and I looked around the office and I was like, I f***ing hate this job. And I called them back and I said, I can't go today, but I can go tomorrow. And I quit my job at the end of the day, and the next day, it was quiet. Like, really quiet. And boring, and a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun. And I'm really glad I went.
And there you have it. Sailor shower.
I spent a lot of time out there thinking about why it was that I said no, originally, when they called. And I'm not advocating for anybody to quit their job or run away from their responsibilities or anything like that. For one thing, all of that stuff will be right there waiting for you when you get back. I'm just saying I know that I've said no to things that I actually wanted to do because I was either intimidated or I felt guilty or I was just scared. And this trip was so empowering for me. It got me thinking, like, what else have I been saying no to? And so anyway, since this trip, I've really tried in my own life to say yes to things, and I've tried to encourage other people to go after their adventure too. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to share it with everyone that you've ever met, that'd be great. Do that. But be in touch. Thanks.